There are some weird things trending on Twitter for some reason.
There's always weird things trending on Twitter.
There's obvious ones like PAX East, but then the next one down is most common things you say when playing FIFA. What are the most common things you say when playing FIFA?
I don't know.
The most common thing I say when I'm playing FIFA is, why am I playing FIFA?
Damn it, you got there first.
Yes. The obvious joke is mine. I haven't played a FIFA game since the SNES.
It's a good.
Although SNES FIFA was brilliant. The next one down is mention somebody you want to meet.
That's just it. Just a hashtag mention someone you want to meet, and then you say, like, I don't know,
Hitler. Hashtag somebody you want to meet.
No. Zombie Hitler.
Zombie Hitler. Well, why don't you do that right now? You could tweet that right now.
I will.
Most of these tags would take up half your letters, unless the tags don't count. I'm not sure.
That would be an easy way to get past the system.
That would be. The next one is Ask JB. Who's JB?
Why are you asking me?
Jesus belly button.
Jesus bitches.
Yeah, ask Jesus bitches. I have to press on it because it's going to annoy me if I don't know who JB is. Joseph Barton.
And who's he?
No idea. Footballer, I think. Well, the next one in the list is replace film title with wank. This is genuinely the list that is currently the trends. I don't know if it's UK only or world. I'm guessing it's current UK.
Can you replace film title off the top of your head with anything interesting?
Wank Wars.
Wank Wars.
Trick Wank. Resident Wank.
Lord of the Wank.
That's too easy. That's too easy a one. The next one down is Poor Jason. And then Miss Congeniality.
Miss Wank?
IndyCar. And then Dev. What kind of hashtag is Dev?
I don't make these things up. Don't look at me. I'm not responsible.
We should make up a hashtag and get everybody to follow it. To use it, rather, just so it gets in the list.
Like what?
I don't know. Frankie Boyle tries to do that with quite a few things, but they're always so offensive, no one but him does it.
That's what makes them good, though.
He needs one that's slightly offensive, but not offensive enough that no one has the balls to do it. There has to be a middle ground.
Hashtag no one has the balls to do it. I want to see that trending in the next week. Hello and welcome to episode 47 of the Hurty Gaming Podcast. I'm Blythe, I'm joined by Flik. We don't really use Twitter.
Didn't even pause so I could say hello.
Nope.
Didn't even stop. There wasn't even a breath there.
Nope. That's how the pros do it.
Aha.
And then they take
carry
a
on. Do carry on.
Then they take a swig of their beer and the drawer of a cigarette.
Their pipe.
Yeah, pipe.
Then they put on their flat cap and complain about how much things cost these days.
Give me a second to get my cap out of the cupboard.
Do you really have one?
No.
Oh, you should.
Anyway, moving on from my fashion sense.
That's your birthday present sorted.
You goit.
I'll forget.
So, we get together, talk about gaming. Usually other stuff gets in the way. Or is it the other way around, that gaming gets in the way and the other stuff is the core? I forget.
I don't know. Stuff happens.
Stuff happens.
And it's late. It's late stuff this time as well.
Yeah, this is late. It's also later on in the evening than usual. I've had a drink.
Well, that's not different to normal.
Shit's gonna get wild.
Mm-hmm. So shall we get right into it?
Let's get right into the thick of it. So what have we been playing for the last 2 weeks and a bit?
Are you asking me or asking yourself?
You can never tell.
No. You're kind of asking both of us.
Well, we've probably been playing mostly the same things.
I beg to differ.
Okay, well, I've been playing Tomb Raider. I decided to buy it.
Why? Did me moaning about Ryan at Pratchett for 25 minutes not put you off?
No, I don't know. It was just a sort of spur of the moment thing, and I'm very glad that I did, in fact. If you do gloss over the writing, which you discussed in the last podcast.
Do you agree? that it's
there are.
based?
I don't think
Stereotypical?
I don't think the thing that you were sort of latching onto, as far as I've played anyway, where she's all vulnerable and stuff, and then she goes and kills like 500 guys, and then she's all vulnerable and stuff. I don't really see that per se, but all the rest of it was pretty true.
Well, how far through it are you anyway? Like, how many hours have you been playing it?
Don't know.
Don't know. We'll see if your opinion changes as you go through.
Right. Okay. But definitely, if you like the, I forgot the name of the fucking game.
Uncharted.
If you like if you like the Uncharted franchise, you'll definitely like it. But I think it's better than Uncharted.
Oh, really?
I do. Yeah.
Is that because you're playing as a lady?
No. Although she does get beat around an awful lot. It's almost like they just go,
yeah,
right,
do you agree that it's a bit unnecessary where she gets her ass handed
we want
to
to hurt her so unnecessarily.
Yeah.
It just, sometimes it's a bit sort of, close to the bone. You kind of...
Literally. You can see bone.
Apparently there's a bug in, I can't remember if it's a PC version or not, where you can make it look like she's almost topless.
Yeah, it was Kotaku that found that, didn't it? Oh, no. It'll be Reddit that found it. It's just Kotaku takes everything they find from Reddit. So, yeah. Tomb Raider is in my list as well, but that's only because we very, very, very briefly tried the awful multiplayer that they tacked on.
Do you know, I had actually wiped that from my memory.
You totally forgot
I even tried it.
It was very brief. It was horrible. This horrible FPS lag. The graphics are scaled back massively, and I know they're always scaled back for multiplayer, but it's really badly scaled back. The mechanics don't work. It's awkward.
No, they don't work at all.
It's like, yeah, you can use a bow and arrow, but then you've got people rushing you, rolling around the place with assault rifles. And it plays exactly the same as Uncharted multiplayer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly the same. It actually felt like you would be more likely to kill somebody if you stood still with the assault rifle out and waited for them to just wander up. Rather
or just
than
step to the side when they fired the bow.
Or that, yeah.
And also...
The melee.
Oh, yeah, the melee is really awkward. Really, really awkward. It looks terrible. It's the same as what you can do in the single player once you've mastered it, but even it's not as awkward against the CPU. But yeah. And Crystal Dynamics have gone on record as saying all DLC for the game will be multiplayer based, confirming that the only reason the multiplayer exists is so that they can hawk DLC.
Which we predicted.
I predicted. You just latch on to my ideas when they sound good.
Moving on.
So, yes, we've both been playing something else. I suspect this is the only other thing on your list.
No?
Oh, God, I'd wiped Minecraft from my memory.
For some reason, we picked up Minecraft again, just out of sheer boredom one day.
Boredom at night, it couldn't be arsed doing anything else, so why not just load up Minecraft? That's what it's for.
Yeah.
It's fine for that.
And you can just keep going back, and every once in a while, you'll go back, and it'll have been months since the last update, and you'll go in, and suddenly new things will have turned up, and some things might have been fixed or broken further, or it's just fun to go in and
we killed time with it for lack of anything better to do in the evenings because we don't really have anything co-op to play right now.
I broke him.
You did break him. You broke our house too. Unfortunately.
But it's still fun.
And then you made an in-house garden thing that doesn't quite work, and it
does.
It leaks on the front door.
That's the shower. It's the garden.
Oh,
shower.
Right. Okay, it's a garden shower.
Garden shower, not golden shower.
It's environmentally friendly, I guess.
It is.
You're showering yourself in dirty plant water. That's what you're doing. And once again confirmed that you have an appalling sense of direction. You can literally just wander for a minute and forget the way you came.
It's not...
Partly, I think you're doing it to just get on my nerves. I think you're pretending it's worse than it actually is. But yeah,
damn it, he's on to me.
Mm-hmm.
No, I generally speaking, I do have quite a bad sense of direction. But I think it's because
that's true. Remember that time you dressed backwards?
Yeah, I'm the backwards man.
So now that Minecraft is gone, pick the other thing, the last thing on your list that we've both been playing.
Naruto.
But we've not been playing Naruto. We've been playing Ninja Storm 3.
Ninja Storm 3.
Yes, we have. But you also bought on a semi-whim at the same time as Tomb Raider.
True. One of the main reasons for me buying it was so that I could pick up some of the story rather than watching all of the shows. But I didn't realize
Yeah,
it was going to be as much sort of cutscene, i.e. just watching the anime as it is.
There's a lot of talking.
So I'm even more pleased about that because, what was it? It was last weekend, wasn't it? And I sat and I managed to get through about an hour 10, hour 15 worth of essentially cutscene.
There is a point at which there is an hour-long cutscene if you exclude 5 minutes of moving from one end of the bridge to another as a pregnant woman.
As a pregnant woman! I put that in my notes. Naruto, you get to play as a slow pregnant woman.
That's currently where my videos are at the time we're recording this.
How
part
many
at which
other games
I ended the part with it being her, and the next part will start as playing as her.
How many other games can you think of where you get to play as a
slow-moving pregnant woman? No.
Not that there's many where you can play as a fast-moving pregnant woman.
Well, in Fallout 3, you technically play as a baby. Twice. In fact, like a newborn and then as a toddler.
Yeah.
Which is comparable in terms of weirdness. So yeah, you're enjoying the lots of story. You'd have to be very into the plot to like it, though. If you've had no idea what was going on, the story mode would bore the hell out of you.
That's true. If you weren't... It's for the fans, really. It's not for somebody completely new to the franchise. You would just be like, what the hell?
It does a piss-poor job of recapping everything to that point.
Yes, you have to kind of... Especially
you have to
if you
watch
haven't
while it installs.
Yeah, if you hadn't... really watched the anime or played the other games, I suppose, it would be more confusing. But without any real knowledge to like behind the scenes, or if it was a while back from when you last watched or read or did whatever, you're sitting there going, when did that happen? Who? What? Why? Oh, yeah, she's asleep. Oh, right, okay.
Also, there's a ridiculous number of loading screens, and they're also surprisingly long considering... on the PS3 at least, it's a compulsory install to hard drive, and it'll be optional on the 360.
It was about a 20-minute install as well, if I remember right.
It was even longer for Storm 2, and Generations wasn't too bad because it basically didn't have a story mode, so yeah, they cut some corners there.
It's where they decide to put the loading scenes. It's like, right, you exit a cutscene and it loads, and then you're in.
Then it loads again.
One small, bit of.
There's a really bad
section.
part for that I think's already posted, where it was just load into a conversation, move through one area, load, conversation, load. It's hilarious.
You're just like, what? Why? But I think a lot of that does come down to Blu-ray disc. It probably wouldn't be as bad on the Xbox. It's because the Blu-ray... No, it's because of the type of disc. Blu-ray disc can fit more information in, but it's harder for it to extract that information out. But
it's installed. That's
not all of it,
installing.
No, not all of it is.
I mean, they're planning on trying to make the next consoles 100% install, so you would hope it would make a difference. Do you remember the thing I moaned about last time regarding Ninja Storm 3, the thing about the Edo Kagis?
Yes,
and that
about
they're in the game
DLC.
as enemies, but
they're going to be DLC.
Yeah, and I said they're very obviously DLC. Well, rather oddly, Namco Bandai, via their official Facebook page, went on record as saying they are not going to be DLC at all. They're just not going to be included, even though they're in the game. And hackers have since found their way into playing as them, and they aren't complete movesets. Like most of them are missing ultimate attacks, so maybe they ran out of time. I don't know. They also confirmed the only DLC is going to be costumes.
Oh, that's not too bad then.
Yeah, take it or leave it DLC. If you have too much money, buy costume DLC. Who cares?
That's fine. I can
I can live with and ignore that. You can guarantee most of it will be like swimsuits for all the female characters.
Yes.
And all the male characters. Come on.
Banana hammock.
Banana hammock DLC for everybody. I think more people would buy DLC if every game had a compulsory banana hammock DLC.
You're not right in
Mass
the head.
Effect
You're like
DLC.
those people that modded in naked swinging penises into Skyrim. That's what you're like.
Is that a real thing?
Yes.
Why do you know of this thing?
Well, I can already guarantee that it's not because I have the mod, because I don't mod Skyrim.
Oh, but you would if you could.
No, it does exist. It is there. I've read about it.
How is that on Steam? Or
I read about it on Kotaku.
Oh, of course you did. So they probably got it from Reddit, and then
yeah. No, it's.
I bet that's your whole list. Is it?
No.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, it was okay.
I very nearly booted up Space Marine to sort of finish it off, but didn't.
No happy ending for that Space Marine.
No. We did do a little bit of the multiplayer in the row. You forgot to mention the fact that you bludgeoned me over the head on the 7 matches or something that we played.
I think it was, on your first night of playing it, pretty much.
The first night of ever playing it after doing like one boss fight, which is not
No, it doesn't count as a normal fight. And then you did one normal fight, and I had to tell you what the attack button was when we started.
That's true. And I was battering the throw kunai button rather than punch button.
Yeah.
Yes, and turn your YouTube followers against you.
Yeah, yes, they want you to beat me badly. So now that, we'll talk about this a bit later on. Now I'm kind of getting into the live streaming lark. We might try and do more matches, but do it as a live stream just so we can do a bunch of back-to-back matches.
People can hear how frustrated I get.
Or maybe try and bring other people in who were curious about having matches against us. Just for fun,
not curious. By curious.
Because I think you can hold private tournaments in Storm 3, I think. I've not.
It looked like that's what it was indicating on the matchmaking thing for it, yeah.
Right, so anyway, back to my list.
Back to your list.
Well, yeah, this is all a bunch of stuff that you've not played. I'll get rid of 2 quick things. I did a bit more Sleeping Dogs. I'm just slowly getting through that as I have time.
So you haven't finished it then?
No, definitely not. I've been barely having the time to touch it.
Oh, with all that Minecraft, you know.
With all that Minecraft, yeah. And also just progressing with Pokemon Black 2, just out of spite for it, really. I will finish it even though I don't like it.
Do you have a Diglett yet?
No.
Right, get back to it now.
It's not in the standard decks in the Black 2 world. I'd have to finish the story mode first, get the national decks, and then it might appear.
Well then, get at it.
Oh, that's what I'm doing. I'm up to the Elite Four. I'll get it out of the way. And I'm going to have cheap because I've got all my previous collection for Black 1, so I'm just going to fill my party with like ridiculously high level Pokemon and just steamroller them just so it's quick.
I approve. I totally approve of that.
Yep.
Thinking
Level
outside the box.
Mewtwo, just throw him at everybody and annihilate them. Which is what I'm going to do. I have it waiting, ready to do. So yeah, I'll get those out of the way quickly.
Okay.
Something I've not played before, and that CR has mentioned previously, Crusader Kings 2.
Oh yeah, this is that sort of medieval...
A mix of like Civilization and Risk and...
Oh, no, I was thinking of something else.
Oh, yes, you were. Yeah, it's like Civilization and Risk.
Sounds fun. Why haven't I been playing this?
It's not fun.
Oh, right, that's why.
The tutorial took me an hour and a half to get through, and I still had no idea what I was doing by the time I reached the end of it.
Excellent.
I also couldn't really work out what my main goal was.
Kill things? It's usually the goal.
It seemed to be, but I questioned why. Like, in Civilization, if I want to, I can go for a cultural victory or a space race type thing. But in this, it's kind of like you're expected to get into all kind of shenanigans with your neighbours. And it just seems like they tried too hard to keep it authentic and bogged it down with menus and text and...
You want blood and guts and...
No, I don't like saying that kind of thing because I like smart games, but this felt like a dumb game just bogging itself down in text.
Right.
Maybe it's more complex.
Rather than like allowing you to develop strategy in your head and think around what you're doing.
It seems like
lots of
random
options
stuff happens and then you react to the random stuff.
That's not fun.
And meanwhile, you can marry people for some reason and then excommunicate yourself and set up a fake space pope if you wanted. Which sounds fun. It's like some of the stuff you can do sounds fun in theory, just very boring in practice.
Oh.
So I tried, this was the demo I tried. I didn't buy it and I won't be buying it. It's too hard to get into it. Maybe once, like, if you really suffer through trying to learn all the interesting stuff buried beneath, but nah, don't have the time for that.
Too much time to sink into that sort of shenanigans.
Too much time for a game where if I wanted that kind of simulation but funner, I would go to Civilization again. I'd go to Civ 5, especially since it's getting new fancy expansions and what have you.
Yeah.
And if I wanted a Risk type thing, I'd play Risk. You know, if I wanted a real-time strategy thing, I'd play Age of Empires.
I've got Risk factions on the Xbox 360.
Is it good?
Yeah, well, it has the original sort of Risk in it, but it also has like their own take, like with added bells and whistles.
Added explosions?
There is added explosions, but it is quite fun. It's the sort of thing you definitely need to play with other people rather than playing against the CPU, though. I've had it for years.
Oh, right, so it's quite an old thing. It's not like a recent...
it's done like cartoony sort of style, but it's good.
What else have I been playing? I played through a little indie game called Little Inferno. This is on Steam.
Oh, yes, I remember hearing the screams.
It is currently in the indie sale running on Steam at the moment. But I noticed it was on it and thought, I wonder if it's also on sale on the App Store. So I looked and it was only 69p on the App Store, so I got it for my iPad instead.
I had to listen through.
You listened to it and you enjoyed the little jingle when they sung about their home burning kit. Also, it's worth mentioning that this and another game I'm about to talk about after are up for their nominees for this Indie Award show that's going on at the moment. That's why they're in the sale. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was well worth getting. It's a mesmerizing game.
But I don't understand what you do.
The setting it's kind of like, it doesn't go into detail. It kind of lets you piece together what's going on. It's like a steampunky kind of London where it implies there's been a nuclear winter, or for whatever reason, it's just constantly snowing. It's constantly getting colder. The world is constantly getting colder. There's no heat. So a brand new entertainment system is a little Inferno home entertainment kit. And it's for you to buy toys from a catalogue and burn them. And that's pretty much all you do in the game. You unlock more catalogues, but you do it by finding the equivalent of achievements, which is mixing toys together for certain reactions as you burn them.
But like, what is it? Is it all done like you're just looking at one screen of them sitting in a room? You're
looking through your character's eyes at your little infernal fireplace. You get packages in the mail of the things you order from the catalogs. You drop them in and you burn them, and stuff happens. Like, they're weird and wonderful things happen, and you react to them. And you start getting letters from your neighbour through the wall, and there's this kind of macabre twist where she becomes obsessed with the fire and that kind of thing, and it takes a turn for the worst as it goes on, and then the person you're playing as kind of goes in a similar way, and towards the end the game totally changes into something else that I won't go into. It makes for a very kind of Tim Burton-esque ending that I thoroughly enjoyed, and the music is very, very good. If anyone wants to look up the music, look up the Weatherman music.
So is the screaming.
It didn't have... Well, I know it did. Some of the toys scream when you burn them.
That's it.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of that. That's the
reason why you wanted to play it.
But it does also have that kind of puzzle-solving element where you're encouraged to find all the different combinations, because to get the next catalogue up, you have to get a certain number of them.
I see.
And there's a whole bunch to collect. So yeah, especially if it's still on offer, I would highly recommend getting it. And it's kind of one of those things that you can just pass the time with afterwards as well. You know, burn things for fake rather than for reals.
Just to scratch that itch without getting arrested.
Yeah. Usually I have to go play as the pyro for a little while to get rid of those pyromaniac thoughts, but now I have a little Inferno.
Or throw matches out the window.
Yeah. It does have to kind of push this is just a game. It's not really okay to burn things.
Don't really go about burning everything.
Don't really steal all your younger siblings' toys and throw them on a fire. But they're fine. Who has a fireplace anymore?
Yeah, it's cool.
The last thing on my list is Faster Than Light, which I again picked up out of boredom.
For your live stream mostly, though?
And no, I picked it up just out of boredom, and then I kind of got the idea of using this as a test to get into the live streaming lark. So I've been testing, well, I've done 2 tests, one via Google Hangouts and one via Twitch.
No, I did one via Twitch a few weeks back as a test.
Did you post it? You didn't post it, did you?
No, I didn't post it because I was merely doing it to see what sort of quality I could do. Because with my slightly worse connection, I was thinking of ways to get around the upload time, and because this...
No, you weren't. I gave you this idea, you lying bastard.
Shut up, you. Sit down. I was trying to find ways to get around my slow connection, and this automatically uploads to YouTube while you're streaming.
It's also exceptionally quick. Like the one I did from Twitch was an hour and 20 minutes, or an hour and 12 actually, I just checked. And it was pretty much up on YouTube and posted in HD within 15 minutes.
But was it still only 480p?
No. Via Google Hangout, they currently
did you pay for the thing rather than using the free trial then?
Oh, yes, I paid for it.
That's why.
Yes. So, yeah, Google Hangouts, they said back in August that they've been working on getting it into HD, but currently it doesn't do HD. So if you do Google Hangout, you're not going to get that. Via Twitch, as long as you're broadcasting in HD, it will record in it, and once you send it to YouTube, it will be in HD on YouTube as well. So my 2 tests are up. The first one, unfortunately, I think we're going to give it another whirl after this, maybe. So, but that'll confuse people because they will have seen that before they hear this, maybe.
They'll go, I was there, man. I was old.
Yeah, they were there before it was cool.
There.
They were there before it was cool.
Yeah.
They get to be hipsters. BGH hipsters.
Gross in their little goatees.
Yep.
And drink in coffee bars and
drink tea in coffee bars because they're also rebels. So yeah, my first test, I couldn't get the game music to be on the thing. I don't know why. I tried everything I could think of at the time. On Twitch, XSplit seems to have a problem with USB mics, so I'm very quiet. So the game audio will need to be turned down next time. But other than that, it seemed to have been the more preferential one for everybody that was there. And thank you if anyone listening to this happened to be the ones there. It was fun getting harassed while playing a game.
Show your support for us to continue doing so.
Or
maybe something that I can start. I mean, I'm not sure whether or not, like, my connection's not that much worse than yours, really. So I wonder.
It's not a case of whose is better. It's more a case of whose is less crap.
Whose is less crappy. But I might, sink $15 and give it a whirl for 3 months, see if I can cope with that, and then who knows? You can have all sorts of random nonsense coming from my mouthpiece.
You said that in such a weird way.
Yep, I like doing things like that.
I'm going to open my mouth hole and spew upon you my knowledge of words.
Somebody once commented to say that they thought that the things going on in my mind, this was actually on the last podcast.
Upload of the last podcast, I believe. Yes, I was just checking. Yes, it is. From Slimass.
From Slimass, yes. The things going on in my head must be very odd. And they are.
Yeah.
There
was a person like you in history once that had the same thoughts and they acted on them rather than keeping them inside. I think he was called Jack the something.
Banana
Hammock. He wore one of those.
On a random aside, I saw a stormtrooper in town the other day.
Yeah, you did, and that would have been a perfect thing to open on. How could you forget? And how could I forget that you told me that you saw a stormtrooper randomly in the street? I believe he was harassing children as well.
He was. The problem that I have with people in stormtrooper get-ups is that I can't get that gif out of my head of the thrusting
of the bump and grind stormtrooper.
The bump and grind. He getting jiggy.
I don't let you bring this up because you don't know why that stormtrooper was there, and neither do I, because it was outside a supermarket or something, wasn't it? Or a cash and carry?
Outside a electronics store.
Okay, now why was a stormtrooper at an electronics store? Was he shopping for the Death Star?
Get pieces for his blaster.
Oh.
Well, electronics store is definitely the place that the droids that you are looking for would be hanging out.
They don't sell flags, though. Why did I kill the conversation? You're allowed to quote Eddie Izzard that I don't like, but if I do it suddenly causes a...
I didn't realise that you knew any. I thought you weren't interested.
You've thrown that bloody clip down my throat so many times, I have it memorised.
Do you have a flag?
Fuck off.
This tray is wet. I do that every time. Every time I'm at a canteen, a cafeteria, has those trays. I'll lift them up and go, this tray is wet, this tray is wet, this tray is wet.
Shut up!
I'll have the penny arrabbiata. This tray is wet, this tray is wet. I'll stop now.
Okay,
this tray is wet.
Let's move on.
Okay.
So you pick something?
This came completely out of the blue, but apparently Capcom are going to make another DuckTales game. Remember DuckTales? The sort of
I do remember DuckTales, the racist Scottish stereotype of a miser duck. Is he related to Donald Duck? I can't remember if they were. He's related to Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah, I think they must be loosely related to him because they don't wear any trousers either.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, Huey, Dewey, and Louie must be Donald Duck's sons, so that would make him their uncle. And he was their uncle in the cartoon, from what I can remember.
Yeah.
Am I looking into this too far?
No.
The mother?
Yeah.
Or was it like a conception without a mother?
It was immaculate conception with ducks.
With a man.
With ducks.
With a duck.
With a male duck.
I did quite enjoy DuckTales on the... What was it on? Was it the Game Boy?
There was SNES versions of it.
Maybe it was that. It was just kind of like the platformer style, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So why are they remaking it?
I don't know. I don't get. It's like, why after so long?
Is it because everybody loves the theme tune? And they assume that'll sell the game?
No, but the theme tune is coming from Capcom. Remember, the theme tune will be downloadable DLC.
Oh, okay, yeah. The OST will definitely be DLC for that game. It does seem rather...
Trousers will be DLC. Hide your shame.
Of all the games they could have just brought out to be a cheap 2D, crappy, rushed thing that'll sell, why DuckTales?
Why is it that, like, Donald Duck has got a top but doesn't wear any trousers, and yet Mickey Mouse is mostly wearing trousers but no top in the older ones?
they stole from each other.
Ah, so together they have like one set of clothing.
Yeah, and that's why they're eternally at war with one another. I mean, the Disney landscape is just littered with the dead bodies of Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Minnie Mouse. They've been gutted.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's a Kingdom Hearts game waiting to happen out there. Kingdom Hearts After Dark.
I tried to explain the concept of Kingdom Hearts to my girlfriend the other day. She said it sounded like the most awesome thing ever.
I agree. If you take away the Disney stuff.
Until like the Little Mermaid thing pops up and you see like a Dance Dance Revolution type game and you go, no, put that away.
It wasn't Dance Dance Revolution. The under the water stuff in Kingdom Hearts 2 was like more like SingStar.
Oh, that's so much better. You're doing an awful lot for your reputation right now.
Shut up, that's why. Are you going to buy it? I think I should protest on behalf of Scotland.
Let's buy it and do a live stream.
Oh, people will watch that. That was
watching.
sarcasm. People watching, listening, whatever. Damn it, I'm still in live stream mode.
Some people will be watching on the YouTube.
It doesn't count as watching because there's just a still image.
If they're staying. Let us know if you sit and watch the still image or whether you just have it in the background while you're browsing webpage.
If you do that, you are mental. You are scarily mental.
You could like splice in like the odd.
The odd what?
Like
a picture of a penis just to make sure anyone's watching.
I'm thinking along the lines of Fight Club, where he's talking about working and he splices in like hardcore porn scenes.
That's yeah. You picked that topic as well, didn't you? Damn it.
I picked a topic.
I'll pick a topic.
Splicing in porn into the podcast.
Yeah, let's quickly move away from that because otherwise people will be paying attention and see it.
They'll be waiting for that one split second where, oh, nice big cock.
No, banana hammock. Anyway, there's going to be a Payday 2.
Oh, yeah.
Bitches. Yeah. It's boasting that there's going to be at least 30 heists of differing flavors.
That's better because the lack of varying heists.
Flavors.
Varying flavors. Is kind of what let down Payday because the concept was good, the execution was pretty good. I'd say it was a little rough around the edges, but more variety, more heists. I mean, like
more gooder, please.
The bank job one in particular is good.
Yeah, the very first stage is probably the best one, and it's probably because they spent the most time on it. Yeah, I would say
it kind of feels like it tails off after that.
Yeah, like all the rest are, we've done the stereotypical heist, what are we going to do now?
They probably sat down and thought, what would make a good game? What about, like, a bank robbery? Yeah, that's excellent. So we'll make one excellent bank robbery, stage, and then what do we do with the rest of the game?
Yeah.
Shrug shoulders.
But, it kind of did fall into that mod area. It wasn't a proper full game. That's why you've never paid full price for it, really.
True.
I have some batshit crazy news.
Can I give you some batshit crazy news first?
Well, let's see whose is more batshit crazy. Go.
Okay. PC content for Resident Evil 6 is going to be a Left 4 Dead 2 crossover.
This was the exact thing I was going to mention. Son of a bitch.
What are the odds?
It's called the No Mercy DLC. And it's adding, even though it's called No Mercy, it's adding the 4 characters from Left 4 Dead 2. It's PC exclusive. It's free, which is odd.
Yeah.
It's not going to be on the consoles, presumably because they're not allowed that kind of DLC for free on it.
No.
Although I partly think Steam makes that kind of shit up just so it can seem superior. But, conspiracy theories, conspiracy. Let's all just carry on thinking Microsoft and Sony are bastards.
Put your tinfoil hat back on, boy.
I have a bit of tinfoil here. I could do it. Do you hear it? That is tinfoil. And it's now on my head.
I'm sitting, drinking beer, listening to you making noise with tinfoil. What went wrong in my life? What went wrong?
You zigged when you should have zagged.
I didn't do a barrel roll.
They were puppets on the Big Breakfast. They were aliens. Zig and Zog. Okay, damn. Zig and Zag is funnier.
No, maybe it was Zig and Zag. I don't know.
I don't remember. And then there was that third puppet, and Johnny Vaughan. And the one with breasts called Kelly something.
Kelly Breasts.
Kelly Breast, and then they all wore banana hammocks at one time, and it got cancelled. So yeah,
You've been drinking.
so does this DLC mean that we should buy Resident Evil 6 for the PC just to play the?
Fuck. I'm not buying Resident Evil 6 in any other very variable platform.
If you could, you would invent a time machine to go back and stop yourself.
Yes. I would go, dude. No, just put the money down.
Dude, don't bother, man. Do that Resident Evil 5 playthrough you should have done.
If there was one game you could have gone back in time and stopped yourself from buying, would it have been Resident Evil 6, or is it something else worse?
Something worse that I bought, didn't get for review for free.
Especially from a point of view of something that you paid full price for.
Metal Gear Solid 3. I fucking hated that game.
Worse.
It is one of the worst games I've ever played. I can't believe people like it. It's terrible. And I'm pretty sure I bought that full price back in the day.
Worse than Resident Evil 6.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think that in terms of what we got out of Resident Evil 6, well, it wasn't.
We made our own fun. Yeah. There was no fun to be had in Metal Gear Solid 3. It was just a visual metaphor for Hideo Kojima masturbating in your face.
We shouldn't have paid Capcom for the privilege. We should have paid each other because we provided the content. Yeah,
we provided the joy anyone can find from watching someone play Resident Evil 6. So no, that's a no then to Resident Evil 6 Left 4 Dead 2 DLC. It's just a big no. Nope.
Just while we're on that subject, I would probably go back and prevent myself from buying Assassin's Creed, the third.
3, you mean?
Yeah. Because I still can't bring myself to load it up and play it because I'm not enjoying it.
It's not even middle of the road for you. It's in the.
Yeah, I'm just not enjoying it at all. At least with Resident Evil 6, we could boot it up and have a laugh.
Well, we have the multiplayer for a laugh there, but that's kind of.
Yeah, trying to get through the single player of it.
Yeah, it does feel like a chore sometimes, and that's not what you want your game to feel like, pretty much. More news.
Go.
No, I was ordering you.
Oh,
more news. Provide more news.
Saints Row 4 is coming out in August.
That's not news.
That's news.
That's not news. That's it started as DLC for the third one, but they decided it was we're in need of money enough to turn it into a full sequel.
They definitely are in need of money.
Well, no, they're not. They're
not now.
They've been bought by. I can't remember who got Volition after THQ broke up.
Was it not Sega?
Oh, it might have been. I can't remember now. Well, either way, the setting of this next one is that you're president now. The Saints have conquered the US, and aliens invade, and they all get trapped in a Matrix-like computer game or simulation of their world where they all have superpowers. If you wanted to enslave a race, why would you put it in a simulation where they have superpowers? Why not just make them really weak?
Go back to the Lansky brothers about the same thing.
Yeah. No, that was different. That's because Neo was the one. Yeah, and they know how to break the rules.
But everybody knew how to break the rules.
Oh, okay. So I suppose the Saints know how to break the rules as well because they're cocks.
They're just giant walking phalluses. Remember yesterday when I was doing that dick dance? They're like that.
Don't tell people that you did a dick dance in front of me.
They'll think...
Exactly. They'll think you had your banana hammock on. God's sake. If anybody makes it big... /fiction can't be far off, and you're just hastening that arrival. Stop it.
Sullying our reputation once again.
I can't even remember what I was talking about now.
You've now just got that image of me doing my dick dance.
Shut up. I genuinely can't remember the bit of news you said there. I just trying to.
I said Saints Row 4 in August.
Saints Row 4, that was it. Right, can we move on now? Because I'm not interested in Saints Row 4.
No, after 3, I'm not planning on sinking.
Unless it really is kind of balls to the wall, ridiculous and fun.
Yeah, if it was fun, but then the same thing applies to not buying Gears of War, Judgment, because we didn't really enjoy the last outing very much.
I didn't enjoy the last 3. No, I liked the first one. No, that's a lie. I did thoroughly enjoy the first one.
Thoroughly enjoyed the multiplayer for the first one, and the second one to a lesser extent.
Boorns. I think that's the second time I've said Boorns. Let's get angry at something.
What's Capcom been up
do I
to?
have any angry news? Well, the Capcom stuff is already done, and it's free DLC, so we can't get angry about it. Oh, Maxis and EA, all that shenanigans with SimCity.
Oh,
That's big and nasty. So to start with
Have at them.
EA's CEO John has stepped down. He has resigned, but it doesn't seem like SimCity was to blame per se. It's more that since the year he came into that position, EA's stock has plummeted and never recovered.
Yeah, it's like direct correlation between him joining and the stock just taking a
the
dive
recession
bomb.
happened as well, but so did like really bad mistakes like Knights of the Old Republic or the Old Republic Online, whatever the MMO we played was called. That is so unmemorable. I can't remember its title. Knights of the Old Republic was the game it was based on.
Operation Raccoon City.
It was It was Operation Raccoon City.
Or was it Raccoon City Operations?
Who cares? So either way, he is gone. So there's someone taking his position in the interim, but the shareholders are going to have to vote for who takes the reins of the company now. And there is a possibility that the next person may not be Satan.
It might be me.
That's like, rather than Satan, you're having a lesser demon.
I'm not that bad. I can do
You're not that evil.
Not that evil. Not all the time.
So have you heard about all the SimCity stuff?
I'm aware
that it's pretty hard to ignore.
Well, I was aware of the launch issues, but I kind of blocked it out. Any
that's
ongoing.
right. We talked about the Era 37 equivalent last time, which, to their semi-credit, is done and dusted, but that may be because hardly anyone is playing their game.
That's probably true. So
what happened here was, it was a great example of trying to bullshit your consumers, then shooting yourself in the foot, trying to bullshit again and getting railgunned by the internet. So after everyone got over the poor servers, they kind of started playing the game. And in playing the game, they found that not all was as it seemed. It's a lot of showing you things happening, implying you're doing things, but really it's all kind of, ironically, it's a simulation. It's pretending that you're doing things.
You're not actually having the impact that they're trying to tell you that you're having.
Yes, and things aren't operating as they claimed. So I was watching a couple of people do different playthroughs of this, and both, ironically as well, both games kind of ended up the same problem. They were both really enthusiastic with the game, ignoring the server problems. And then as they kept on playing, they kept on noticing things that made no sense. And then they noticed more things, and they started getting frustrated. And then they started getting angry because nothing was logical. And that's the main crux of the problem people are having with it, particularly with the way AI operates. And the fantastic example was build a bunch of industrial, which is where people go to work every day. Put a single dirt road next to it with a single house at the end of it, and then build tons of houses a slightly further distance away and watch what happens when the industrial closes for the day. Every single car will go to that one close house up that crappy dirt road and check if it's been occupied. And even if it has been, they'll still do it and create a backlog. Although once the backlog's there, it might change. So they purported to fix that eventually, but this is where the lies kind of started happening. The president of Maxis, I can't remember the lady's name, she kind of went on record as saying the server problems were just due to demand. We thought we were ready for it, and we weren't.
Yeah.
They have to be this way because so much of the calculations going on with everything that's happening in your city is done by us. We don't want to put the pressure on your PC.
Yeah.
So the internet went challenge accepted. And a Maxis insider, or someone claiming to be a Maxis insider, confirmed what pretty much everyone found, that the only stuff handled by the servers is generic multiplayer stuff, telling the server what you've done and what your co-op friends have done so that it all syncs up.
Of course,
absolutely no calculations are done on the server.
No, that would be stupid. I mean,
exactly. So rather than admit that they'd been caught lying, she went on record again to say it wasn't in their vision to do an offline version of the game. So people got kind of pissed off at that and carried on digging and found that, well, it had already been proven prior to this that you can play it for 20 minutes before it has a shit fit that you're not connected to the server, which in itself proved that it didn't need the servers. Because 20 minutes is long enough to tell that it's all on your PC.
Until all the cars start piling up into each other and the buildings grow legs and start going on a rampage.
But I think the worst things are, people got annoyed because the number of people it claims living in your city aren't true, and they found in the code it is actually called "get fudged population" is the line of code which lies to you about how many people are in your site after it gets above 500 people. But even worse than that, the only reason it can't cope for longer than 20 minutes not attached to the server is because of a line of code that says check after 20 minutes that you're on the server, and if it's not, quit the game. Because at first I thought, when I looked into this and like the early playthroughs, they were constantly getting disconnected, and I was like, oh, they're still playing. It's not like Diablo where it kicks you to menu and you lose your progress. That's not so bad. But then you find out all about this, like all these shitty things they've been doing, and they didn't bother spending too much time on actually making a simulation city game. They concentrated so much on trying to stop piracy.
See, they call it Sim City, but don't really want to put any effort into making a simulation city game.
I think they simulated the simulation. That's what they've done.
It's Simception.
It is Simception.
I watched Inception last night.
I don't care.
It's good. You should watch it.
So this is a wonderful example, just like it was with Blizzard, of a company getting so overzealous and so afraid of piracy. They have cost themselves both their reputation and actual sales, not real sales, actual. Because so many people pursued refunds. Amazon refused to sell it after all the negative reviews. It's also the most negatively reviewed user game or user review game on Metacritic ever.
Was there not something about them like giving free games out to people as well?
Yeah. This
like
was
Sony route.
Everybody who bought this is fun because they announced it prior to doing it, and gave people time to still buy the game just to get the free game. They said like before, if you buy SimCity before I think it was like March 22nd or something, then you get a choice of like Battlefield 3, Mass Effect 3, and a few other games on the very meager Origin catalogue.
Yeah.
But I loved that they gave it time so that people might think, oh, SimCity is pretty shit, but I'll get a game that's pretty crappy, but I'll also get Battlefield 3 for free, so why the hell not? And then they get to say, like they have done, SimCity has sold 1.1 million. Although I was very curious if that figure included the literally thousands of people who either sought a refund directly or did it via chargeback through their bank or Amazon because Origin reps were being threatening, is the word. They went on record as saying Origin would never threaten to ban your account, so naturally people then posted conversations they had with the reps proving that they were threatened with losing their account.
I'm sure that was fun to deal with.
Yeah, they are in such a shitstorm of negative publicity. It's hilarious. It's not. I can't think that it didn't affect the guy's Ricoletto, whatever his name is, decision to leave at this point. Yeah, it's kind of like, the building's now on fire, I am out of here.
Even if he had no direct responsibility for any of the fuck-ups over the last, 5-6 years.
It was the MMO which mostly has lowered their share value, but SimCity is now a big mistake.
Knowing that their ship is sinking quite rapidly at this moment, it might recover, it might not. He's thinking, well, I'm not going to have my name completely dragged down with this. Yeah. If I leave now... Somebody else can...
I want to make a prediction as well about the DLC for SimCity, which there's going to be tons of it. Because, it's like the Sim games, they're full of it. I think they'll keep on working on their reputation and then bring out a DLC which increases the city size. Because modders also proved that you can do that as well. And people complain because the city lots are so small compared to the ones in the SimCity 4.
So they'll basically do all the things they should have done in the first place. Release it DLC, make you pay for it again. That's bad
what
Mojo.
They do.
That's bad Mojo.
That's bad what?
Mojo.
What is Mojo?
Mojo is Mojo.
What is Mojo?
Well, if you pronounce it Mojo, it's actually like a type of sauce that you put on things like fish and beef and things in the Canaries. It's made with like chilies and peppers and oil and stuff, and you mush it up. It's very nice. You'd like it. The great thing is that the red one is called Mojo Rojo.
Okay, I like that. Mojo Rojo.
Because they don't say J, they say Ho.
Oh, that's true, yeah, Jose.
Mojo Rojo.
Let's not talk about that. We were busy knocking...
This is the culture section.
Emails, go.
I will not respond to that.
Oh, come on, I want to tie this into the 5-word review thing that you started last time, because I know that at least one email is full of them.
I started something horrible, did I?
Well, hang on, do you want to do ours first and then do the email ones, or... Because I do have some.
Oh, I didn't make any more.
Oh, I made some.
Oh, you can go with some then.
Okay, well, did you see the ones I put on Facebook as a bit of a teaser? Because if you have, I'll skip those ones because you'll know the answer.
I probably did, but that would have been about 2 weeks ago. So
okay, well, one. So for those who may not have heard, it's 5 words to describe a game, and we have to guess the game. And he started this last time, and we asked people to send some in.
And we got some. And
so here's some examples that I did. A cat avoided my blade.
A cat avoided your blade. Is
it's important to say.
Metal Gear Solid?
Close. Want to take another stab at the name?
Oh, Revengeance Rising.
Rising Revengeance.
Rising
yes,
Revengeance.
That was one of the ones I put on Facebook as a teaser. Let's see. Here's another one. This one's a bit obscure, unfortunately. Dating a computer has disadvantages. It is a game we have played recently. We played it last year and it was co-op.
Dating a computer has disadvantages.
Yeah. Another clue, we've yet to do it on the hardest difficulty co-op. The hardest difficulty is called Legendary.
Oh, Halo.
Halo 4.
Halo 4.
Master Chief and his electronic girlfriend.
That's true, yes.
Okay, here's an easy one. Visited the island, got raped, ouch.
Tomb Raider.
Yes. Another easy one. Can't build cities without connection.
Sim City.
Anime flashbacks and many conversations.
Ninja Storm 3.
Correct. And the last one I made, if screwed, run a bypass.
That would be Aliens Colonial
Yes,
Routes.
it is.
Oh, run a bypass.
By the way, that's getting a patch. Apparently, is going to make the enemies more aggressive and whatnot soon, and harder.
But that will
Just
fix the
random.
multiplayer, which is what I was hoping would be a good thing for the game.
So anyway, yeah, well, you can move on to emails now and any examples they may have included.
If anybody fancies sending in any more of these 5-word game descriptions, some people have been referring to it as 5-word puzzles, but whatever.
By some people, are you meaning that one guy?
You can send them to braingohurty@gmail.com, or you can hit them up on Facebook, facebook.com/braingohurty, or write them on a piece of paper, wrap it in a stone, and throw it in the general direction of Scotland. We'll find it.
Eventually.
So the first email is from Slimaz. He puts Slimaz, then he puts brackets Moose. So I don't know if he wants to go by Slimaz or Moose. Actually, I don't even know if it's a he.
Also a moose.
He's also a moose. I'd like to meet this moose.
Exactly. You'd like to meet him. He knows this, so he does that.
The email is titled 2 Guys, a Podcast, and Some Questions.
Hurrah!
There's no cups involved.
No, yeah, anyway.
Good evening, gentlemen. I hope you are having a good podcast this day. As per your usual request, somewhere within this email is a question I would like for both of you to ponder and answer, using your versatile comedic humor knowledge in the hopes of entertaining your listeners and satisfying their curiosity.
I like our Stephen Fry-esque listeners.
So do I.
Carry on.
Now, recent gaming news is a flood with a particular incident involving evil publishers and horrible business practices. Hey, we were just talking about this.
I think we might have been.
But rather than talk about a topic that everyone is a little disinterested in hearing about at this point, I'd like to pick your brains regarding a genre of games which millions of people in the world play every day. I speak, of course, about MMOs.
Oh, damn.
He's talking to the right people about this because we've sunk so many months, years, hours. Yeah. I myself have started playing Terra, and I found the combat in it to be very engaging and enjoyable. Story, not so much. I'm mostly just skipping straight through and completing quests. What I would like to know, my good chums, my good chum, is what have your experiences with MMOs been like so far? And what do you think the future holds for this generation? Or genre, sorry. Genre.
Don't mess up these wonderful words. Well, the way all of them are going is the same way that Terra's gone, free to play.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It's the only way that works now, unfortunately. Unless you're WoW.
But it shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't be, but that's people expect it now.
I think, the genre itself kind of shoots itself in the foot on that point, because in order to get people to keep playing the game and to keep paying a subscription fee, you need to have some sort of, essentially you need to have some sort of grind, really.
Yeah, and people don't like to grind anymore. They want to pay for the
yes. Nobody wants to pay. Nobody wants to play a grinding game over and over and over doing the same sort of stuff.
I'd like one level 50, please.
So they make it free, and then people pay for the content that they want later on, etc.
And then the catch-22 is they get bored quicker and leave.
Yeah, I know. It's difficult. I think it's probably because we're spoilt as gamers for the choice of games that we can play now. In the past where you had less MMOs at any given time to play.
Other than like the Korean ones, which were all kind of samey.
Yeah.
Like the ones that are like WoW are far more common today than they were like 10 years ago.
That's true.
Back in the days where I was addicted to Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah, I mean, that I would probably go on record to say that between 2001 and 2008, I was pretty much always playing one MMO or another. Pretty much always. I had something on the go constantly.
I think we both invested the most time in Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what my final play time on that was, but it was ridiculous.
But other MMOs have mentioned Dark Age of Camelot. I played Aeon.
I've played
the Star Wars one. I couldn't remember the name of it earlier.
I've played a lot of WoW.
I briefly tried WoW and didn't like it.
We did that. What was that futuristic one called? I'm sure it began with an A. Anarchy Online. We played that.
Oh, yeah, very briefly, yeah.
There's been a few, more than a few.
Well, yeah, there's a few that we're forgetting that we only played in like beta.
Yeah, we played
Final
beta
Fantasy
like
14.
Lineage 2.
Lineage 2, yep. Dennis Leary.
Thank you, Zorak. There's probably more that.
I think it's a genre that may disappear for a few years, simply so that people forget the free-to-play model. And then someone comes back with a really good one and does the sub-model again, and then it works for a little while.
They might just try to integrate it into something else. So you'll take what is essentially kind of like PlanetSide has, I suppose, where you'll take the FPS genre and try to amalgamate it into the MMO one. So you can go on and you're playing it in a FPS style where you go in and you shoot up a room and all that sort of stuff.
And that's the free-to-play model as well.
That is, yes.
It's not. I can't think of it. What games right now are still running a sub? Is like WoW one of the only ones?
Yes, WoW still definitely runs a sub.
Subscription service.
Is Final Fantasy 11 still running?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it will still do subs as well. Actually, yeah, it's still going. Final Fantasy 14 still hasn't come out of the beta of the Resurrection, Reborn, whatever version of it.
It probably won't. They'll probably just eventually give up.
Terra has interesting combat. I might look into it then, because it's free to play, so there's no harm in... No, there is harm in trying it. MMOs are bad.
The MMOs are bad for you.
Especially when I have so many other things that I want to be doing as well.
Yeah, me too. Like, I have to go to work, and, I enjoy having sex with my girlfriend, so,
Me too.
Shall I move on to the rest of the email?
Right, there's more. I thought that was it. Okay, carry on.
He spells Flik with a C, by the way, just so you know.
He does it on purpose to annoy me.
Also, Flik, the first Naruto video was brilliant. I am avoiding the rest as of right now, whilst I work through the Naruto manga. At the time of this email, I am at chapter 245. However, by the time you read this...
It's up to about 650. He's got a ways to go.
By the time you read this, I should have progressed further. P.S. Have you listened to the recent podcast? I have a few 5-word puzzles below.
Aha, good. Also, I wonder if by first part he means the first part of the game, because the first part I did of the game was me unboxing it. So is he meaning I did an awesome unboxing?
Let us know.
Bring back and tell me. Let us. Or just tell me on the video. I'll see that as well.
Okay, so some of these 5-word puzzles then.
Okay.
One. Lone Wanderer scales stone beasts.
Oh, that's the Guardian thing. I can't remember the full title of it.
I know the one. It's
the one that everyone always says is brilliant, and I'm annoyed that I've never played it. Oh wait, no, or it's just Gods of War. Or
no, because I think that's coming later.
Oh, so I assume he hasn't written the answer. So
he hasn't, but I'm pretty certain I know the name of it. I'm gonna sneakily.
You're gonna cheat and Google it. It's Guardians of something
it's
or something.
Guardians. It's the
Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus. That's the one.
I was thinking of the one that's a spiritual successor. It's disappeared after E3 showings with the giant bird thing cradling the boy.
So that's the one we reckon.
Yeah, how are we going to know if we're right or not?
Wampa fruit gives you lives.
Wampa fruit?
Mm-hmm.
Wampa fruit gives... I don't know what Wampa is.
The only thing I can think of from Wampas is, like, from Star Wars.
Shall I cheat?
That's spelled...
Wampa fruit.
No.
I'll cheat.
It's Wampa. He spelled it Wampa.
Oh, right. No, I was never into those games, so I never would have got that. It's from a set of games that were only on the original PlayStation, I believe. A Bandicoot.
No, they went on later consoles, including the Xbox.
Well, either way, Wampa fruit are Crash's favourite fruit. So that's what.
So I
only ever played demos of the Crash Bandicoot games.
This is a really easy one. One man, one crowbar. ...
That's 4 words. Or are you counting ... as a word?
Yeah, he's put ... as a word.
Well, either way, it's Half-Life. It's Gordon Freeman.
Yeah, but Gordon Freeman never says anything. That's the ... It's clever.
It's clever, but it's not a word.
Evil sword with giant eyeball. That's got to be Soul Calibur.
There's a lot of swords with eyeballs. But I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you. It probably means Soul Calibur. Or Soul Blade, whichever one.
Angry man wants to kill gods.
Oh, that's God of War, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So, there you go. I think we got them all right, but let us know if we...
No, we cheated on the Crash Bandicoot one, so that doesn't count.
That's true. So, thank you very much, Slymaz or Moose, for yet another email.
Oh, hang on. I'd also just like to point out that in my Google results for what Wampa fruit is, other than the Crash Bandicoot stuff, there was also an entry on Urban Dictionary saying it's a term for a super awesome girl who is super awesome. This girl is awesome because she's super hot and has superpowers.
That's Wampa fruit.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
There's also someone asking on Yahoo whether Wampa fruit are real things or not.
Oh, evolution at its finest.
Someone said that to me about something we did on the last podcast.
What?
Oh yeah, it was on the upload on YouTube when we were talking about the person who got drunk and roasted his hamster. He said that was evolution at its finest.
Oh yeah. That poor hamster. Shall we move on to another email?
Yes, I think you probably should.
This one is from Rory Wood.
That's the good Rory.
Hello. I was wondering if you've seen the new character trailer for the Borderlands 2, and what do you think the new character skill type will be?
Well, we can cheat now because it's been revealed at PAX.
Yeah.
So it's a mutated bandit called Krieg, as in Blitzkrieg, I assume.
Krieg, yes.
Yeah. And he's going to be added along with raising the level cap to level 61 on the 2nd of April.
Pointless.
They're also... no, it's not quite, because they're also adding New Game Plus Plus, which is a game for level 50 characters.
Still pretty pointless.
I guess it adds longevity, I guess. And it seems like he's mostly a melee-based guy, although he can still use guns, so maybe but he seems to have 3 specials, where he's like throwing axes like the bandits do, breathing fire like the bandits do, and randomly throwing dynamite like the bandits do. Maybe you get to pick which special you get.
I suppose, but most of the specials that you use to go down the 3 trees, and they change from the 3 trees.
Yeah, so. I'm not sure. Well, he has to have some kind of trick that makes him special. So maybe his is he either gets a random special or you get to pick one.
That would
random
be fun.
Makes sense to me. Like you're not
Especially
sure what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So yes, we have seen that, and now we know.
So that's
It's a mutated or large bandit called Krieg.
How are you both liking the story mode of Storm 3? I am thoroughly enjoying it. Other than the pointless walking between scenes. I would prefer if it just went cutscene, battle, cutscene, battle, cutscene, battle.
That's how it technically did it in Generations, but it just skimped on costs.
I don't need to like walk from one end of a bridge to another end of a bridge.
As a pregnant
woman. It serves no purpose. It doesn't do anything.
I am also enjoying it because I'm a fan of the source material. I'm glad they've added blood in this one, because in Storm 2 all the blood was edited out, although still some of the violence is edited for safety.
Yeah, it is toned down a little bit.
All the worst examples of violence are toned down. Nobody getting decapitated, for example.
Boo.
Yeah. Still enjoying it, though. Neither of us have finished it. I'm very nearly there in my recording process.
I'm not. I haven't played it for a while. In fact, I haven't played for the last week any Naruto or Tomb Raider.
You've said that already.
Yeah.
Get on with his email.
As I know, Flik has played Storm 2. He can compare the story modes of the two games and say if he has noticed any of the changes to the style of the story modes. As when I was playing it, I noted that there aren't any real chances to do side quests until the end of the story mode on this one.
That is exactly what I was about to bring up. They seem to have forgotten what free roam is between Storm 2 and Storm 3, because Storm 3 is not free roam. You are totally on the rails, because if you try and go down an optional route, chances are 9 times out of 10 it'll say, I don't think I'm supposed to go that way.
Yeah, I noticed that. I just thought that meant it was coming up later in the story.
Like, the only side quests I've found have been progressive ones as you go through the game anyway.
Is that like giving that comb to the little girl and stuff like that?
Well, the comb thing I think is going to have a payoff the next time you're back at the village, I guess. But I don't know.
I just assumed that would be...
That wasn't anything in the manga. So yeah, I think the Storm 2 story mode was better. You had a lovely free roam aspect, and you were encouraged to free roam because the scrolls that in Storm 3 you seem to just get for winning fights were littered around the place, so you had to go free roam.
Right, okay.
Whereas now you're just given
you just get them for doing
you can replay the fight if you want, rather than having to do a bit of work for it. Although the best free roam was done on the Xbox 360 Naruto games for the original series, where you had a living, breathing GTA-esque Konoha village to wander around and do.
That sounds fun.
Run. It was the first one was fun. The second one was a cash-in. I think it was called Rise of the Ninja. So if anyone has a 360, I would recommend playing that one. It was a good, fun little free roaming Naruto game.
Okay, so on to the end of the email with some 5-word game descriptions.
Hooray! Everyone's playing.
It's a good game.
It is a good game.
Quick time, all the time.
Resident Evil 6.
I'm going to go with Resident
Heavy
Evil
Rain.
6. But technically, it could apply to a lot of games. But yeah, I'm going to go
even
with
Naruto, even Storm 3 is quite quick time event heavy. Technically, I mean every boss fight has them.
My money's on Resident Evil 6.
I would assume so. Knowing that he knows the videos we do and whatnot, I would say that's probably right.
Well, bear that in mind for the next one. Let's go get the dinghy.
Oh, that's your Borderlands 2. What was the name of that DLC? The Big Game Hunt.
The Big Game Hunt.
Yeah. Hammer Locks.
Sir Hammerlock's Big Game Hunt.
Sorry, sir. Yes, he's a knight.
Sir. He's a sir.
He's a knight because most of him is metal. So, how does that make sense?
It doesn't. You're just driving yourself insane. So
knights, no, my theory was knights wear armor. Armor is metal. Therefore, Sir Hammerlock is a knight.
My fork is made of metal. Sir Hammerlock is made of metal. Therefore, my fork is Sir Hammerlock.
That isn't what I said. It's just remarkably similar.
So, thank you very much to Rory Wood for sending that email in and for joining in on the 5-word game description.
I'm going to have more disgusting ones for next time as well.
You are disgusting.
Yeah, mine were terrible.
Shall I move on to the last email?
Yes, because this is going to be the overly long wall of text. Bad Rory.
This is from your favourite friend, Rory Belmont, who says, "Hello yet again, Blighty and Gustav." So he's joined in and decided to call you Gustav.
That's because he knew if he did anything else, I would tell you just to say
Gustav. I could respond to things you said about what I said last time, but the back and forth like this is remarkably inefficient and takes up writing space.
That's
so from
true.
now on, if something I say is misunderstood, Gustav will be getting an earful about it right away to save time.
Did I mention he's a nagging housewife?
Now, just to go straight into the 5-word game descriptions.
Yes.
And so he's just
Cutting
listed
it short.
off
Excellent.
a nice long list of game descriptions.
How long a list are we talking here?
There's about 15 or something.
No, I will swear. Fucking hell.
Fucking jeez. Dead God's sword slays machines.
Great, what?
Dead God's sword slays machines.
He's going to make these like really
difficult,
obscure just so he tries to make himself look clever. He's bad for this.
Okay.
Let's go with Xenosaga Chronicles for that one. I may be wrong.
I haven't got a clue. I'm talking about...
Sorry, Xenoblade Chronicles.
Gathered warriors, harmony against discord. Now that is Dissidia. Yeah.
Final Fantasy, either Duodecim or the first one.
Vampire killer brings bloody tears.
Castlevania something? Insert Castlevania game here, and while you're at it, also stick it up your arse.
I don't know. I don't know that one either. Slay giants in empty world. Is that not that Shadow of the Colossus again?
That Another game where you slay giants. Don't know. Let's assume that it's that, because I can't think of any other games where you murder giants.
Shining Key Against the Darkness. So that's got to be... Oh,
Kingdom Hearts.
I thought you were going to say...
I was waiting for you to get one, because I can't always be the one to be right. Flex my imaginary muscles.
Seek Redemption by Murdering Gods. Well, that's going to be God of War.
Have they been conspired?
The two Rorys are just the same person.
No, it was Slimaz and Rory, though. They're actually the same person.
People used to think we were the same person at one point.
We are the same person at one point. Carry on.
Dead Again in the Dungeons. That's got to be Dreadmore. Dungeons of Dreadmore. Gotta be.
You could technically use that kind of description for, say, Demon Souls or Dark Souls.
True. Poor imitation of Smash Brothers.
Oh, PlayStation All-Stars.
Goddess Dies to be continued.
Goddess Dies. Nope, don't know. Not sure. I'm thinking Kid Icarus, but the goddess in that didn't die. As far as I'm aware. I can't remember now.
Should I go on to the next?
Well, I can't help but know she didn't really put much thought into trying to guess that one.
I can't think of anything at all for Goddess Dies.
Or in general, yeah, in general. I know, it's just First Hour of Skyrim is the only words that keep playing in your head over and over.
It happens.
Okay, let's skip that one. I'm going to guess that it was Kid Icarus just because I can't think of anything else.
Have you not played it? I can comment. Heroic Figment of Dreaming City.
That is Final Fantasy X. And also spoilers.
Oh.
Well, because Tidus was a dream. I think.
I'm sure it's not a spoiler. It's a very old game now.
Yeah, but it's being re-released HD. I could have just ruined it for a whole generation.
Fuck the whole new generation.
Yeah, fuck them. Not literally,
that's
otherwise,
illegal.
Jail. Yeah.
4 Heroes Restore Crystal's Light. That would be
Final Fantasy
Crystal Chronicles, or is it
6? The one that got remade for DS. I think it's 4.
He's got a very final... He likes his Final Fantasy games, doesn't he?
He's into his RPGs, yes.
Yeah. Because jobs created by shattering crystals.
What, Final Fantasy Tactics you're thinking?
No, because you don't shatter crystals for...
Oh, right, but for the Crystal Chronicles one.
I'm thinking, yeah. Insane Magic Clown Destroys World.
Ugh, okay, yeah, Final Fantasy 5. We might as well just skip all of them, because he's probably done Final Fantasy 1 to 10.
Yeah, Mama's Boy Calls Down Cataclysm, Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
Suicidal Orphan Seeks World's Fall.
That's... which one had an orphan baddie? Was that 9? Oh, yeah, what's his name? The other tailed guy in 9. The one that was like Zidane. I can't remember his name. Kuja. That was it. Shot to Head Summons Mask. That sounds like Persona to me, but I didn't think he'd played any of those. Because in Persona, they shoot themselves in the head to get their persona to come out and fight in battle.
Oh, that sounds a bit mad.
Not literally. It's not a real gun. It's like it's a magic gun.
So that'll probably be what that is then.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think so.
You'll get this one as well. Divine Wolf with Magic Paintbrush.
Okami?
Yeah. I can't remember how you pronounce it, but
the one where you play as amateurs.
Yes. Lost Memories Restore Crystal's Shine.
Lost what?
Memories.
Final Fantasy.
Split Personalities Shoot Sinister Laughter.
Split Personalities. Us.
There's sinister laughter.
That's not true.
Clueless Detective, Nattering Old Bag. Objection!
Oh, yes, Nattering Old Bag. Yes. How did you remember that one of the characters was called Old Bag, or whatever her nickname was?
Me? I don't know. It says Clueless Detective, Nattering Old Bag. Objection.
Oh, but the way you said Old Bag, it was like you knew that they referred to the old lady who appears in most of them as that.
Nope.
Okay, well, that was a very good, not a good guess. It was more like an accidental correct answer.
No. The last word is objection. You're giving me credit for something that's in front of me. Clueless Detective.
Well, to be fair, I was technically insulting you in a roundabout way, but
read minds and fight noise.
Oh, The World Ends With You.
So off you go, have fun.
I think we probably got about a 70% correct ratio there.
I don't even know if that last one is one, but anyway.
It is, definitely it is. It's a DS game. Coming out on iPad, I think, soonish.
By the way, Whitey, has Gustav told you that there's a new expansion for Final Fantasy XI coming out yet?
Oh, why would you do that? I specifically told him not to bring it up in any emails.
Why? Because he thought that would mean that I would try to get back into it. I don't have time for MMOs. I really don't.
Good. Let's just brush over it and never speak of it again. In fact, this shouldn't even make it into the edit. Let's constantly say fuck for a few minutes so you have to cut it out.
Fuck.
Does that conclude the email section?
That does conclude the email section. I've just been tagged on Facebook with a picture, and it is a Minecraft Xbox.
A Minecraft Xbox?
Mm-hmm. It's the Xbox console is designed to look like a block of earth with grass on top, but done in
that'll
pixels.
Be from PAX. Yeah. I think I saw that from someone I know who's at it and was posting tons of pictures of various people at PAX. He goes there and he doesn't play any games. He just takes pictures of people in cosplay.
Well, that's one for the Wank Bank, I guess.
Heard it here first. So I have 2 bits left to quickly get out of the way before the call quality drops any further. Did you see that there was apparently leaked notes for the Xbox 720?
I did not.
Saying that it always has to be online. It is Blu-ray supported, but that's purely to install games. Every game has to run off the internet. Well, not the internet per se. It installs to the hard drive, but it always has to be on. So in other words, no second hand.
Nope.
Always on connection.
Yep.
I'm buying a PS4.
They might have the same.
I'm buying a PS4 first, because at least they kind of went on record as saying it doesn't require always on, at least.
But at the moment they've said that, but they might not.
What, you mean it might be a lie?
Yeah.
Big companies don't lie.
They might change their mind. They might say, we tried our hardest. Really, we did. We really wanted to make sure you didn't have to always be connected, like all our previous consoles. But it just wasn't working, and you have to always be connected. And here, look at this little cow.
And then people will call them on their bullshit. They'll look at what happened with EA and think better of it, hopefully. Yeah. Vote with your wallets, people. If you oppose it, that's the only way they'll listen.
People aren't strong enough for that.
Probably not, and I probably won't be in the long run either, but I will still buy a PS4 first if it doesn't do the things that I just said, the 360, 720, whatever.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. The last bit of thing I wanted to bring up was about indie games, because I found one it's been given its first official showing last week, I think. On the SNES, did you ever play Shadowrun?
No, I didn't have a SNES, but didn't Shadowrun get remade on like the Xbox and PC, and it was one of those games that was supposed to be a crossover?
There was, like, based in the universe, yeah, it was kind of like a first-person game.
Shooter something.
Semi-MMO type, didn't do well. No, ignore that one ever existed.
Oh, right, okay.
No, the one I'm talking about was on the SNES.
Right, okay.
So you never played it?
No, I didn't have a SNES.
You didn't have a SNES, and you didn't have access to a SNES.
Well, I did, but I didn't play any games like that on it.
Well, it was a really good RPG. I remember playing it very fondly. I remember it because you wake up partway through your autopsy, and then you find that you have a bomb in your head. So the first main goal you have is to find how to get the bomb in your head not to go off. And if you take too long, it goes off.
I like the sound of this already.
So, yeah, it was a Kickstarter, and they got so much money in their Kickstarter above the target they set that they had to go back to the drawing board and think, oh, we can do a bit more with this now, so let's extend the date before we get it released and produce something better. So they only showed off a proper demo last month, and they've been showing it off a bit more recently. It kind of plays like a semi-turn-based RPG, like you can move around freely until you get into a fight, and they've kind of integrated a cover system, kind of like XCOM. It plays kind of turn-based. It's steampunk with a bit of magic thrown in.
Sounds interesting. Different.
So I loved Shadowrun so much, so I'm paying very close attention to Shadowrun Returns is the official name.
Is
It's
that a
currently in the
console release or a
stage.
PC release? Or?
No, it is PC. It'll be on Steam most
Alright.
likely, although right now it's not. So
Look
yeah,
out for
and
that.
it uses like a perception system. That's the thing they're flaunting. So the example
Hey,
they
baby,
gave
look at
was
my jiggly boobies.
you can holster your weapons, and if you walk into a room, it might mean that someone in it won't necessarily be instantly hostile. So you can walk up to them and then use melee rather than a gun.
Ah.
It gives you like a sneak attack.
That's...
Not exactly honourable, but
Who gives a fuck about
and
honor?
they implied the full game would have like disguises and things like that, and it has contextual things based on the runners you hire to be in your party. They have particular skills. Like one controls a drone, one might summon spirits, one could hack stuff to give you an advantage later on.
I don't know why this is... Oh, go carry on.
What? No, I was
No.
going to wrap it up. So
Wrap it up and then I'll tack on the end.
okay, so I think everyone else should pay close attention to it as well. If you type Shadowrun Returns into Google, you'll get taken to their official site. I think it's being made by a company called Harebrained Games. I say company, but it's an indie dev studio, so it's not
There's a guy
huge
in his basement.
No, it does have some clout behind it. It has some older people who have made games in the past. It's not like a Dreadmore or an Isaac per se. But it's something I am keeping a very close eye on.
First images of it make it look very similar to like Syndicate Wars. The old Syndicate Wars. I mean, the real
The
Syndicate.
aesthetic of it is very old Syndicate Wars, like
I
that
approve.
kind of steampunky sci-fi. But also, it does have magic. It has they call it shamans, and but it's basically magic.
I approve.
Yeah, so I encourage you to do what I'm telling people to do. Go to the website and look at the gameplay demo they showed off, talking about the systems they're implementing, and look at the art style and that kind of stuff.
I might just have to do that.
They also mentioned that down the line they might look at multiplayer, I think. I think they said that, but it's definitely a single-player experience as is, which is a bit disappointing, but understandable because so was the SNES one.
Yeah, but that was back in console days.
That was back in
Everything
console
was
days.
single player back in console days.
Yeah. So that also made me go into Steam and look at their Greenlight list for the first time ever.
Huh.
Do you remember? Did you ever look at a video I linked you to on MSN once of a top-down survival horror roguelike game?
Yeah. Yes, with the zombies trying to like break into the house, and he went in and bit.
Well, not necessarily even zombies. It's kind of like it never actually showed you what it was chasing him. It just showed that he was being chased, and then there was
Isn't
like.
that where he like killed his wife or something like that? Or tried
No.
to save his.
There was like a ghost boy playing a piano who tells him to go turn the power back on when it suddenly goes off, and then there's another ghost by the power who eats power. Or
No,
something
I'm thinking
like
of
that.
something else. I'm thinking of that
Yes,
game
you
where
are.
they lost the game on a disc. No, somebody stole the computer, didn't they? Somebody broke.
Oh, you're thinking of Project Zomboid.
That's it. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. Did you just drop your mouse?
I just launched the mouse.
I wanted to get. I forgot to write down the name of the game, unfortunately. So I found it I saw it on Kotaku, I think, and totally forgot the name of the game again. So I found it by pure chance, because when you go into Steam Greenlight, it gives you a list of games to look at to potentially vote for, and then you can just press randomize some more, and it gives you another few games, and you can just look at and see if there's anything that takes your fancy. Okay. So anyway, I found that. Oh, there, I voted on 2 items. Let's see if I can. See your submissions. There we go. Oh no, that's my own personal submission. No, I want to know what I voted on.
You're looking for Burn Victim Cripple Simulator, Dating Simulator, number 6.
Okay, here we go. The survival horror top-downy rogue type game that changes procedurally I was talking about, this also has my interest peaked. It's called Darkwood. It's by Acid Wizard Studio, which I believe is a case of it's like 2-3 folk. So the only other one that caught my eye just from pressing randomly a few times was one called Door Kickers, which is another top-down one being made by Killhouse Games, where you play as a SWAT team. It's like SWAT, but from a top-down view.
Oh.
And your view is only as a person would see it. So you've got blind spots on your back. So the idea is you cover each other. You enter houses filled with gangsters or whatever from different doors. You plan strategies. You rescue hostages. You use gadgets. And yeah, it looked early-ish, and they're going to kickstart it, but they haven't yet. It looked all right. I don't like that the thing it asks you when you vote for something on Greenlight is, would you pay for this? I'd rather it would say something like, does this seem like something you'd want to play? Because, yeah, it does, but I wouldn't say want to pay 20 quid for...
Exactly, yeah.
For something like Door Kickers. It looks like something I'd enjoy, but not like that much.
You run the risk of them thinking, oh, yeah, we've got lots of hype behind this, everybody wants to play it, so we'll charge full price, rather than, people would want to play it, but they would want to play it for... a $5 or somewhere under a $10 sort of thing.
But that Darkwood, I'm very interested in that after seeing they did a very good job creating that kind of semi-trailer for it. It piques your interest. It shows you actual gameplay, no CG bullshit. Shows you what the game might be like.
When you Google that up, mind you don't land in like one of these like furniture stores, because Darkwood furniture does come up.
Yeah, okay. Put in Darkwood Acid Wizard Studio. And the other one that's not on Greenlight yet anyway, maybe not at all, is Shadowrun Returns. Definitely think you should look into that. That sentence went way off.
Yeah, you just sort of kept going. It started reminding me that there was that game where it was a party. And
it's because I was reading something for the record. But
one person was playing like a spy within the party that had to complete a few objectives.
Oh, that
the other
came out,
person
I think.
Who was playing as a sniper, and they had like one shot, and they try and guess who the spy was. What was it called? Did it actually get released?
I think it did get released on Steam, but I can't remember the name of it. I might be confusing it with The Ship, which was a Half-Life
source Ship was mod. A Half-Life mod, yes, a very old
yeah. I do remember the game you mean. I don't know. I do remember the concept of it as well, and it sounded like quite a good one. I don't know. Answers on a postcard.
I'm having
So yeah, you're the same as me. You got distracted by reading blurbs about these games and whatnot. So we're getting distracted and not listening to the things we're saying. So yeah, do what we're doing, people. Go look up Darkwood, Door Kicker, Shadowrun Returns. Email in your 5-word descriptions from games for us to guess. Check out our video.
Party. That's what it was called.
Spy Party. Okay. Is it actually out?
I think it's called Spy Party. That's what
I would just let him get on with it.
Yeah, it is Spy Party.
BrainGoHurty@gmail.com. Email us in all your stuff. Bank details if you want. We'll misuse it, but I think that bit wraps us up.
I think it does. I think we're starting to sort of mindlessly dribble anything now.
Oh, and Darkwood is in pre-alpha, for the record. I thought it was in alpha, but it's
pre-alpha.
Yeah, but if you're interested, go watch the trailer on Steam Greenlight and then vote it up if you want. And it's made by 3 guys. Oh, they're on YouTube as well. Interesting.
Mm.
Oh, you need stuff to talk in the background, don't you, for the damn music?
Usually I put some sort of random blurb.
Yeah, I could just read out features of Darkwood instead, because I have them in front of me.
You could do that, or I could talk about like Nintendo's bit of advertising at PAX.
Oh, okay, do that quickly then.
Nintendo have got this like flyer that they've been sticking up on the walls around PAX where...
Does it say, please buy a Wii U, we have children to feed?
Pretty much. They've managed to shorten that down into the title at the top that says, why Wii U?
Yeah, why Wii U? Wii U?
They've gone to list like all these various features and then put a tick against the Wii U because it meets all of those features, and then a little dot against the Wii for some of the features that it actually covers as well. But they didn't put it against like the Xbox or the PlayStation.
I was just going to say, they only did it to their own thing.
So they've got like internal storage and explaining the storage size of the Wii U against the storage size of the Wii, and external storage where it has it, and what you can do and stuff. It plays Wii games. Well, obviously they both
really
do. The Wii U plays Wii U games, but the Wii doesn't.
Oh, you know what would be so funny if Sony or Microsoft brought out an exact same kind of leaflet that also said "Why Wii U" and did their console and filled in the same.
Most of the things on there, I mean, like, there's no point in listing off like it plays Wii U games. Yeah, no shit. That's why you buy the console. And then it's got like Miiverse and Nintendo
It'd be nice
TV.
if the Wii U had any good games that hadn't came out 2 years ago.
Uses the Wii U gamepad. Oh, the Wii U does,
wow.
but the Wii doesn't. But some of these things like play games online, play downloadable games, browse the internet during gameplay, up to 1080p HD graphics. These sort of things that are on there, it's like, well why? But then that's the point of the poster. Why Wii U? Which is why.
Yeah, why? Just why Wii U?
Why would you even bother?
Yeah, exactly. That should be the subtitle.
I imagine.
Why bother?
I really imagine there's going to be a lot of them graffitied. The people just like, in fact, you don't need to because
no, they've kind of done it themselves. You don't need to add anything to that to make Nintendo look any less pathetic.
Congratulations, Nintendo.
You've sunk to a new low. EA says hello.